Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. Today I'm going to show you the Commander Experience bonus tanks because I had a question from a subscriber or someone who I hope is a subscriber or will be a subscriber, I don't know which, but about the ways to get these tanks. So I'm going to tell you how I got them and give you, the way to analyze to figure out, do you need them, do you want them, etc. And give you, my experience of how I got it and how you can get your own in the future. So it would be real helpful if you could leave a like for this video, even though it's not going to be very long, because this will help people become aware of tanks that can give them bonus for the commanders, which is super important once you learn how to use it. So we're going to get right to this dude, and this is going to cover all the nations where this happens in World War II. There's a lot of tanks that have it built in on the premiums in Cold War, but we're going to look at World War II because that's really what people are looking at in that regard. Okay, so right here we're going to start with the American Vengeance. This is a Tier 8 medium tank. Next we have Tier 8 tank destroyer, also American. This is the British Eradicator Tier 8 heavy tank. This is the Tier 2 German Panzer 38H, and we'll get back to this one later. This is the Tier 8 German light tank Hollenhund. This is a Tier 7 French AMX Chaffee. Now this is one of the special tanks that has a 20% bonus, which is low but above zero. This is the Tier 6 Russian medium tank T-34 with the 88mm gun. This is the Chinese Tier 8 Legion 59 Patton, another 20% tank just like the 38, 34, 88 and the Chaffee. Here we have the Swedish medium Tier 8 Earthshaker. And last but not least, we have the American Tier 8 medium Astron Rex. The Astron Rex is an autoloader and is quite effective. Now, it'll depend on your personal skills. So, some of these work better than others for me. The same will hold true for you, most likely, because we're all better at one thing versus another. My personal expertise is artillery and light tanks. I do okay in mediums. I do okay, in snipers. I don't really care for heavy tanks in general. So that shades my opinion of these tanks personally in that way. I don't say that they're bad because I've scored great in every type of match. I've actually played every one of these tanks and have made MVP in matches in every one of these tanks that I have played. I haven't played some of them because there's just no reason for me to play them. But the thing is, I'll do better and score better in general in tanks on my expertise, and you'll be the same, even though you might get these tanks and score MVPs in all of them at some point, because you will eventually, if you're any good at all. But the frequency of getting an MVP is the key. And I like certain tanks, and a tank that you like that fits your feel, your game is going to play a little bit better for you. Astron Rex is one of the ones I like because it's a 5-shot auto loader. One of the reasons to get this tank, if you want to get it, I was playing in a match one time randomly, and one of my friends, Wrongway, was in there, and we did great. We won the match, and he noticed I was in there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, that tank has a great turret." I was just playing it for goof around purposes, and I said, "You know what? Let me go look and see." I was like, "Oh my God, he's right. It does have a great turret." So that was fantastic. You learn stuff from different sources. Astron Rex is great, has a great turret. The Vengeance is another great tier 8 medium tank, but it's a single shot. And I've penetrated tier 10 tanks with this gun. So that will give you info on whether or not you should be looking to acquire said item. I'm going to tell you the facts as I have them, and I'll explain something pretty basic. I make mistakes from time to time, but I never lie. So I'm not going to lie to you. You're not going to catch me in a lie because I'm not stupid. If I don't know, I just say, I don't know. I don't try to make it up to appear anything special. But the information I will give you will help you. If you're a medium tank guy, the Astron Rex and the Vengeance are terrific. They're good to me, and I'm not even a medium tank guy. That's how good I think they are. Demolisher, tank destroyer. Has a pretty powerful gun. I, in one time, lucked out and got an MVP in a tier 10 match in this tank. I wasn't like dominating, or I played really good, and our whole team was fairly evenly spread on the damage. So since I was a tier 8, I got MVP. It wasn't like I was super awesome. This isn't the greatest tank destroyer. The turret rotation is horrible. Let's look at that. Turret rotation, you see that bottom left-hand corner, Demolisher T28, 21.93 degrees per second, and that is bumped up. That is the beefed up version. That's using the, increased speed on turret rotation. That's using the gasoline to max that out. Its turret rotation is horrible. So you aim at a guy and shoot him fine. But light tanks, you can forget about it, dude. You're not going to kill them because you can't adjust your turret direction fast enough. It's just not good in that regard. It's slow and rotates slow, but it's a pretty powerful gun, British tier 8 Eradicator. This dude is slower than dirt. So it's okay in a tier 8 match, all right? But if you get a 9 or a 10, you could be in trouble. Unless you're an ace heavy tank player, which I am not. So I do okay in this tank, and it's a goof around tank. I play this in goof around matches with my friends or what have you, because it's real solid. And if you're a heavy tank player, this is a good tank to have. But that's all very subjective. Panzer 38H. I'll come back to this one at the end, because I'm going to tell you, when you do all the evaluations, this is the number 1 commander bonus tank for multiple reasons. This tank, the Holland Hund, is high on the list. High on the list because, number 1, it's a Halloween tank, meaning you can earn this tank for free in Halloween if you don't already have it. When Halloween when the Halloween event occurs, you get a couple of weeks, whatever, to pick a tank and earn a Halloween tank for free. The first one I got out of the gate was the Holland Hund because it's a commander bonus, 50% bonus tank. It's a tier 8 light tank. You can see it's an M41 Bulldog variant, and it's a good variant. So this tank is a tank that, has the goofy Halloween horns and what have you look to it. but this is a 365 days a year tank. If you like playing tier 8 light tanks, this tank kicks mega butt. It's really good. Yes, I've won multiple tier 10 MVPs because this is one of my areas of expertise. It's that good. AMX Chaffee, tier 7 light tank. Pretty good tank. I mean, it's really a light medium. It's a light tank technically, but it plays like a medium, but it's faster. 6-shot auto loader, making it really exciting. Solid tank, real easy to play. It only has a 20% commander bonus when all the others, the standards, will have 50% or more. Now the Earthshaker, Eradicator, and Demolisher, those are blue steel, and blue steels have 75% bonuses, which sounds good, but I'll explain to you why it's not as good as it sounds. So this is a 20% bonus, good for goof off. Relatively cheap tank. I got this one on sale for half price on one of the Super Savers. It was like 2,000 gold. So good to get, but it's not expensive. T-3488, medium tank, 20% earner. Really good. That gun is powerful. So this is for a tier 6. This is a really good tank because it's got the gun that's way better than a tier 6. It's got to be a tier 7 gun, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but it's the German Tiger tank, 88 millimeter. That's what it is. It kicks butt. This is a great overall tank. I perform well in this tank because it's a very fluid medium tank that's, kind of leaning towards the light end as far as mobility. So it works great for me. Legion 59 Patton. I have better medium tanks than this. I have the Astron Rex. I have the Vengeance. So I have this 20% earner. Who cares? That's why I've never played it. Why would I play it? It looks cool. It's a Patton tank. I mean, I like Patton tanks, but it's just a numbers game. I don't need to play this tank because why would I do all that work for 20% when I can get 50% in a Vengeance or 50% in a Astron Rex? Or I could play this Swedish Earthshaker and get a 75% bonus, with this Centurion butt kicker. Now, I'm not good in slower, medium, or heavy tanks, so I haven't played this tank because I've already analyzed this is not the tank for me. I got it for an operation. We earned it for free. So for free, of course, I'll take it. Now, let me go through this. Astron Rex was a season pass tank, which is essentially free because you pay 2,000 gold for the season pass, but the season pass will give you 2,100 gold. I think this was actually... No, this was the ultimate season pass tank. This tank is not free. You had to pay the 6,000 gold to get this tank. So it was the dirt cheap tank because, and in fact, it came with this guy. Whoops, sorry. There we go, wrong stick. Okay, so this was the deal. The ultimate season pass was this. Astron Rex and Krampus. He's hideous, but he's a 3-star, bonus commander, so get him off there. Anyway, and this has my Arnie Mania camo on there, which if you look at it, you'll see the Arnie. But because the turret is curved, it distorts it a little bit. There you can see his face right there. But it has this, it just looks like it's, got some kind of atomic flames or something. But it's really Arnold all over the place. There's his face upside down underneath the yellow caution sign. There's his face on the rear of the tank. Hey Arnold, your face, your ass, what's the difference? Anyway, Astron Rex was a ultimate season pass tank, so... Vengeance. How did I get the Vengeance? It might have been a Tanks for Free experience deal. I can't remember for sure for some reason. Demolisher. I got this for cheap somehow. I don't think it was an operation, but it might have been. Eradicator. Yeah, it was something like that. It was either Tanks for Free experience or half price. I think it was half. I don't know. Might have been half price. I don't know. The lesson is here, don't pay full price for any of these tanks. And I'm going to tell you why. So, Panzer 38H, this is the best of the best. And I'll get to that at the very end. But it's free. And that's one of the reasons why it's the best of the best. You can literally get that for free with no strings attached. Holland Hunt, I told you, I got this from the Halloween operation. So there you go. Now, the thing is, let's look at these guys. Oops, there we go. Eradicator. Now, Eradicator is blue steel because you see the blue paint that's on the armor of the Eradicator. You got the blue paint again on the Demolisher. That's a blue steel tank. And the other blue steel tank is the Earthshaker. Once again, blue camo. All right? You can't change it. So these are blue steel tanks. I guess this is the most visually striking. So the blue steel tanks are all 75% commander bonus. Sounds great. It's the highest number you can get for commander bonus. The problem is this. Every one of these tanks has pros and cons. Good medium tank, absolutely correct. I'm not a medium expert, so it's a con for me that it's medium. That's why I haven't played it. But it's still a great tank. I know guys who are good in this tank. 75% bonus, the highest you can get number-wise. And we're going to cover these other ones together before I give you the final information. Demolisher, same story. 75% bonus. Tremendous. Very good sniper tank, but it's slower than dirt. If you don't like slower than dirt sniper tanks, I'd avoid this dude. That turret rotation is garbage. Literal garbage. So, I mean, it hits like a hammer. You shoot guys and you can kill them. Okay, so it's a legitimately good tank. Like I said, I got an MVP in this dude in a tier 10 once, but only once. Eradicator. It's a very good tank, especially at tier 8. I can play it well in tier 8. Tier 9 and 10, not so good. It's not my area of expertise. But it's kind of a fun tank, and it looks killer. That armor just looks awesome. With the turret skirt and the skirt for the tracks. It's good. If you're a good a heavy tank player, this dude is a good tank. Semi-slow. I got, 35 or something max speed. 41 downhill. See, that's the downhill speed. It's like 32, I think, on flat ground, something. It's not horrible, but that dude that's just about as maxed out as it gets. You could put the powertrain for like 2 more speed. I think 43 or 44 is the max it goes, but it's short-sighted. You need the help for the enhanced optics. Okay. The problem with these tanks, and this is going to come around, they're on the opposite end of the spectrum. The Panzer 38H is number 1. The reason this is number 1 when you evaluate it is because it's simply a numbers game. If you're doing commander experience bonus, that's great. And if you want to play the other tanks, they're all good tanks, okay? But the difference for me is this. If I want to goof around, I can use any of those tanks, and I have done so with great effect. Every one of these tanks, well, except the ones I haven't played, which is the Earthshaker and the Legion 59 Patton. I haven't played those at all because I don't need to play those. I have things that are more fun that do the same job, essentially. Those are medium tanks, and I have better ones, in my opinion. Okay. Now, if you're really good at it, the Earthshaker's a butt kicker. Because, I mean, it's a Centurion, and all the Centurions are good. But the weakness of the Tier 8 Commander bonus tanks is that they take more time to play those matches. They're slower matches. So what it boils down to is, if you're lucky, you get 5 or 6 of those Tier 8 matches an hour. In the 38H, your standard is like 8 matches an hour. You can get 10 if you catch a few breaks. It's very unlikely, but it does happen. Because the matches in the 38H tend to be shorter matches. Even though it's slower than dirt. Like 25 on open ground. But every other tank is also slower, so it's not the difference in the differential between your speed and the opponent's speed isn't mostly a big deal unless they have a really fast tank. So for me, as a commander builder, I use the 38H as my primary because it's 8 matches an hour if I'm not screwing around, right? In general, you'll have a few 7s here and there, and maybe a 9 or a 10. Catch a break. I've had actual matches end in under 3 minutes. It has happened. It's rare, but it has happened. So it's all in how you want to evaluate what you're doing. If you're doing it for fun, they're all great. If you want to do it, as a daily routine, and I usually do anywhere from 3 to 10 commander matches in my 38H every day. It's a monster. And I have killer game results to show for that. Now, here's one of the results of commanders. Let's go look at this. I don't have any 1-skill commanders. I have no 2-skill commanders. I have only one 3-skill commander, and that is the guy that I transferred his 3 skills from the Japanese samurai. That guy's skills have been transferred to the 38H, and that's the only 3-skill commander I have. I have no 4-skill commanders. What I do is I run the 38H until I get 5-skill commanders or higher. So all of these are 5 and above, 7, 8, 9, etc. Like I have 26 maxed out commanders. Now I got the maxed out commanders from the toy tank event at Christmas time. That's the absolute killer. So here you go. Look at this. Right now I've been using some ×4 commander boosters on my 38H. The higher ones, I don't use those on there. Why? I'm saving these for the toy tank event to make more maxed out commanders. So I'm acquiring 6s, 8s, and 10s, and I'm only using 4s. That's my plan because it's the best way to go. Now, the reason you want a commander bonus tank is this. If I played a regular Panzer 38, I would get 100% standard commander points. And if I used a bonus commander like the 3-star commander, I get 30% bonus. Since all my commander building tank guys have the quick learner, that's at 10%, so his 30% becomes 40%. I use enhanced rations on my tanks right here because this is a 10% commander bonus. All right, right there. So that turns a 50% tank into a 60% tank. So I get a 60% commander bonus on the tank and 40% from the commander. That's 100% bonus. So if I have a regular 38, Panzer 38, and ran a mission and did 1,000 damage, I'm going to get X number of points. If I take the 38H and run the same 1,000 damage, I'm going to get double that amount. Because my 100% bonus, that's the key. I earn double what a standard 38 would do in this tank. 8 times an hour. Okay. So I can show you. Okay, I'm not going to show you a match. There's no need. I'm going to show you a match result. And this is it. This is my 38H set up. Gets 100% bonus. Okay, so I used a ×4 commander booster. That's all. If you look at the very bottom of the screen, an orange box, 48,500 is a monster game. Because why? I had monster damage, 2,100 damage. Is hideous. Now, I use all premiums, so that way my shots do the maximum damage, etc., etc. I lose 30,000 minimum a game in silver, but I don't play that many games. It's not a big deal. You know, I might play 4 or 5 matches. So if I played 5 matches like this, I'd lose 200,000. Well, whoop-de-doo. I go back in Cold War and make that back in an hour or less. So I'm willing to trade silver for commander points by using 4 times commander bonus. Now, they're not all this good. Standard game will run about 1,000 damage. And 1,000 damage, I guess about 20,000 points, ballpark commander. It's quite useful. If you do say, okay, if you're averaging 20,000 commander points an hour with a ×4 booster, and you want to run a full hour and say 8 matches. So with 8 of those boosters, that would get me 160,000 or more if I have a good game like this one. I mean, this one was through the roof. This is one of the best. I've had a game over 50,000. It was grotesque. It was just an absolute grotesque masterpiece. You can score like nobody's business if you can play the 38H well. And like I said, it depends for every person. For me, 38H is by far and away the number one. I can do okay in the other ones as well, but my setup profits best off of this one. Yours might be different. That's fine. I'm not telling you that this is the only way to go. This is one of many ways to go, and they're all good. Whatever floats your boat, that is the key. But in my opinion, with the analysis that I've done, 38H is the way to go. I make the most, and I just crush it. But if you want to get, a 75% bonus tank, because that's the kind of tank you want to play, like an Earthshaker or a Demolisher or a Eradicator, those are all 75% commander bonuses. You jack those up with the Quick Learner. Well, there's 75% tank with the rations. Let me get on one of those tanks. Eradicator, good enough. They're all the same. Okay, this is a 75% commander tank. Add 10% with the rations, makes it 85%. Your commander, 30%. If you're using a 3-star, you should use that, obviously. You want to get these together. 3-star commander with 30%. Get the Quick Learner in there, like Vinny has got. You can see it right there on the far left of his bar. He's a 40% commander with a 75% tank. 85% tank, because it's 75 plus 10%. So he's 125% for him and the tank combo. He makes 125%. 125% bonus. So again, if he did 1,000 damage, which is kind of low, but let's say he did 1,000 damage in a regular tank, and then you had the same damage in this tank, heavy tank, 1,000 damage. The regular tank would give you X points. This one's going to give you 2.25X. That's the difference. The 38H, remember, it would give you X points for 1,000 damage on a regular tank, but on this tank it gives you 2 times X. It doubles it. The Eradicator, essentially, when you get all the numbers to the end, is 2.25%. 225%, which is 2.25 times. It's more than double. That's why people want them. Now, the standard price for these tanks, the Blue Steels, is like 11,500, I think, or 11,700. It's high as heck, which is one of the reasons you don't need to buy them. You've got to know the attributes of your tank and the pros and cons of each one of these tanks. The Eradicator, the Demolisher, and the Earthshaker. Now, the thing is, they're not for everyone, because my information I've given you means you'll be able to figure out, oh, I'm good at X, Y, or Z, or all three, whatever, and maybe they're for you. But maybe they're not for you because you go, I don't like to be slow. I don't like to be slow. So the Demolisher is slow and the Eradicator is slow. You might not like slow turret rotation. The Demolisher has horrible turret rotation. The Eradicator is not exactly a spring chicken either. So those might not appeal to you for that reason alone. If you're a really, good medium tank player, well, then the best of these three would be the Earthshaker. I think, objectively, it's the best of the three for someone who's skilled in a medium tank. Brownie played it, man. He was awesome in this tank. Just awesome. I'm good as a tank destroyer, average or better. And I did okay in a Demolisher. It's all right. I mean, I'm not going to get 100% reamed, but it's not a good deal. If I paid gold for it, I'm an idiot. Okay? I didn't. That's why I'm telling you. The Eradicator was the first one I had a chance to get. I want to say I got it on a discount price, and it's solid, and it's semi-fun as a goof around. I got the Earthshaker for free. It was an earn operation. Demolisher, I think, was tanks for free experience. My recommendation is that I don't pay gold for any of these tanks, except for Astron Rex, Vengeance. When it goes on sale, I think it's like 5,000 on sale. It's worth 5,000 if you want to buy a tank. So I think that's correct. Astron Rex has gone on sale. It goes on sale for about $5,000 as well. The other ones that are great than the first two that I had were the Holland Hund free from Halloween. You can go get the 38H free right now from the store. Just go find the World of Tanks Modern Armor and World of Warships, whatever the heck that one's called, Joint Forces. That one gives you can go and there's a download. You can go get it in 60 seconds. Get this tank for free. This is the best one. It's free. It's free today, right now. So if you don't have one, go get this one. Halloween, this one's for free, unless you already have it, and then you don't need it. Go get a different Halloween tank. But you can get this for sure for free in Halloween. 2,000 gold is what I paid for it. I think this was another one that I got in an operation, or I got it for dirt cheap. Legion, this was Legion 59 patent was a earned contract. I got this from a contract for free. Earthshaker was an earn operation for free. So the thing is, I don't recommend you pay gold for these tanks. They're not that great, and you'll get tired of them relatively quickly for most people. Again, that might not be you. You might be a perfect person where it's okay for you to go and buy them if you want it. A lot of these tanks are black box tanks in the premium store, so you have to wait till they're especially on sale. The Astron Rex is one of those for sure. I don't know because I already own them, and in the premium store it's gold. It doesn't show me the black box, so I can't tell you specifically on that one. Recommendations for medium tank players: the Vengeance, the Astron Rex, and the Earthshaker are all good medium tanks. My personal preference, I prefer the Astron Rex because of the 5-shot autoloader, but again, you're more likely than not a better medium tank player than myself. That's the key. It's going to be up to your skill set that really determines what you want and what you should get. I really can't help you beyond that, beyond telling you that's the case. You go, well, I'm really good at fill in the blank, well, then that's the one I would get, whatever that is. I'm really good at light tanks, so I can go and play in a tier 10 match in this tank and do well. I mean, I'll still get killed if they shoot me, but I can score well, and I have gotten MVPs in this tank in tier 10 matches because this is my area of expertise. So that's the thing. You've got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. And I wouldn't go out of my way to spend a lot of money for a 20%. This is a fun tank to play and very useful for operations as well. So this one, another one that I know I got this one for a cheap price. Definitely worth acquiring. It's around 3,500 gold, I think, regular. But that gun is good. So this is another 365 days a year tank. It's that good. So, that covers all that business. So hopefully we covered all the stuff that you needed to know about these tanks, so you're going to be well armed in what you personally need to move to acquire. Because I don't think you want to pay 11,500 or 700 for a blue steel tank. Those dudes are super expensive, and in my opinion, not worth it. Because I can go and I've made fortunes, and I just showed you the result of that one game that I had. That's a top 10. Actually, it's the 38H game that I showed you would be a top 3 or 4 game for me in that tank, just to give you the proper perspective. It's not the best I've ever done in that tank. I've done 2,700 damage, and then I got a nasty stash. Okay, that was the best I did. But terrific. I mean, 1,500, once you get the groove of how to play the 38, 1,500 happens quite frequently. And when you get 1,500, dude, you're going to rake it in. Like I said, you can do that 8 times an hour if you want. And that's what it boils down to. The blue steels, you're looking 6 an hour. And then how many of those 6 matches you play in an hour are going to be tier 10 matches? You're not going to score as much in general in a tier 10. Same thing with the tier 9, not as well in general. Your scoring will be down. Now, 38H does play in tier 3 matches every once in a while. Usually 4 or less tier 3s, which is manageable. You can still score 1,000 points ballpark. Every once in a while, you're going to get a 5, 6, or 7 tier 3s. So it's just on the numbers of what you can do per hour that puts the 38H in the top spot for myself. If you're playing it for fun, anything is good. It doesn't matter. They're all great. So that's what I want to tell you. That's the most important thing. The rest of it is up to you. I say hoard the gold. Don't spend gold for these tanks. You can get free ones. You can get cheap ones. So just wait until the bargains arrive. Now, the Astron Rex was a couple of months ago. That bargain is come and gone. It'll be back eventually. So that's, do whatever you have to do or whatever you feel you want to do, but the bargains will come back eventually if you wait long enough. Might be a year, who knows? I couldn't tell you. I already have them all, so I don't have to know anymore. And I did it like a cheapskate. And that's the key. Be a cheapskate. Don't fork over mega, full price for those tanks, because they're not that great. You're not going to play them that much. And if you do, well, then I'm wrong about that. So what? But to me, they're very repetitious. They're slow and boring as a general rule. So, whatever floats your boat, man. I just wanted to give you the info, and you're going to have to make the ultimate decision. And hopefully I've given you everything you need to make the decision. Man, get the free ones. Try the free ones, and if you don't like them, well, you can not like them for free. But if you bought a blue steel tank and thought, oh, geez, dude, this was a big mistake. I don't want to be the guy that made an 11,000 plus gold mistake. Eradicator, I played this one the most. 187,000 experience. It's, okay. It's a good tank, but I wouldn't pay 11,000 for it. I'm just saying. Demolisher, 58,000, not bad. Earthshaker 0. What about Astron Rex? Astron Rex, man, now that's a good tank. 400,000 plus experience. The numbers tell you. The Vengeance is very good. It's a single shot tank. Man, I much prefer the Astron Rex to autoloader because I'm not as good. I like to run up on a guy, boom, 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 and then go run away. I'm not going to lie to you. So that's why I have the most in the Astron Rex. Oh, actually, let's look at the Holland Hunt. That's another 50% tank. Yeah, I play the Astron Rex more than the Holland Hunt, and I'm an expert in the light tanks, but the Astron Rex is fun to play. There you go. So, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you learned some stuff and got the info you need. Get free ones or get them for dirt cheap. Tanks for free experience, whatever. Wait for their 50% off. You've got the information. Now you're going to have to make the decision on your own. And I hope you do well, and I hope you end up liking whatever you get. It would be real helpful if you could leave a like for this video, help spread the word. Tell your friends, that way they can learn about these tanks. You can combine your perspectives and maybe make a better decision with more help from your friends. And they have a chance to like and subscribe as well. So look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thanks for watching the video. And I look forward to seeing you again. See you later.